Think smart, guys. Stop the panicking.
Yep.
Stop the fear mongering. Sit at home, watch Netflix, watch Disney Plus. Stop freaking out.
Oh, hell. Call the boys. Hey, listen, it's time to bug out. Yeah, there's a goddamn apocalypse going on. Yeah. What you mean you're still at your house? What? Yeah. Oh, what do you mean you're sitting on your couch watching Netflix? No, there's an apocalypse going. No, it's time to bug out. You want me to stay at home? What do you mean you want me to stay at home and watch Netflix? What? That ain't, no, it's time to bug out. Well, what about the dang zombies? There's no zombies. What? Ain't no zombies. What? Ain't no zombies. What the hell? Hey guys, T2 out here.
PD, what's up, y'all?
Today we're going to be giving you an update on
hey, allergies, man. It's allergies, I swear.
we're going to be giving you an update on the coronavirus, kind of how it's affecting us, and kind of what we're seeing both in the civilian world and in the prepping community. But yeah, let's get into it. So locally, all of the restaurants have closed down the dining in experience. You can still hit up the drive-thrus. Walmart's still open. The last time I did a video, they were pretty much wiped out. Your rices, your pastas, all your meats were gone, your freezer section was gone. They're starting to slowly rebuild due to the fact that initial panic's gone, and
They've cut their hours back now to where they're only open to the public from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's helping them out a lot. They're able to get actually more stuff on the shelves.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of a comeback from that. But
they're also limiting purchases.
Yeah.
A lot of items you can either get one or two of, and that's really helping them restock, which is good. So the schools are shut down. They're going to be shut down until
the governor came out last night and said that school will remain closed until we are out of this said state of emergency.
North Carolina is on quarantine right now.
Yes. Mandatory stay-at-home order.
Yep.
Enforced by law. We're not there yet. I mean, it's still being played day by day with that kind of stuff because the cases are going up, the death toll's going up. The governor's kind of trying to play it smart and see where it's at before he tells everybody, hey, stay at home. He did put out a 2-week quarantine on anybody coming into the state.
My grandma lives in a retirement community. They've shut down the people that can go in. They've never had a guard, but now they've hired one security guy to sit there and monitor traffic. So if you're under the age of 18, you can't go in there. So grandkids can't visit their grandma type thing.
We actually, my son, we had to take him to the emergency room last weekend. Pulled up to the hospital here. They wouldn't even let us get out of the car. They asked you like 40 questions about, have you been in contact with anybody who had flu-like symptoms? Do you have flu-like symptoms? Do you have a cough? Do you have this? Have you been out of the country? Have you been out of the state? And then only one person was allowed to go back with them. And then we went out to Greenville, and they even had stricter rules in place because they did, at this time, they had the confirmed cases, and now they've even had the death. The saddest things about this is I saw a grown man outside in front of the hospital crying on the phone with somebody, just raising Cain because he wasn't able to go see his newborn son. It sucks. Things are really tough right now on that front, but it's there.
Yeah, so we're not in lockdown mode. I still drive to work. My wife's out.
I'm still working.
We live in a very rural area, so it's going to be very difficult. The cities, like my city 5 miles up the road, can easily lock down. You can't come in the city. But out here, I mean, how are you going to lock it down? I know my father-in-law's got a stack of paper through every state that he has to drive through. And they'll stop him at, exit 1 if that's a new state. Hey, where's your paperwork? If you ain't got paperwork, you ain't coming in. One thing that we've seen a lot of is stupid comments.
God, yes.
This isn't the end of the world. We're experiencing a lot different things than what some people out there are experiencing. You know, we're not on lockdown. We still have power. We still have water. So it's not the end of the world. I've seen people, I got to bug out right now because this is it. This is the end of the world.
Yeah, those people that are like fear mongering almost. And you see that a lot in the prepping community. A lot of guys jumped on the bandwagon of saying this is the worst thing in the world. We're all going to die. Martial law, that term gets thrown out a lot. And I don't think people really understand what they're talking about there. With that being said, yes, you need to be prepared. You should have been prepared 4 months ago. You weren't, so now you're behind the ball.
6 months ago, it was Syria. We were supposed to go World War III with Syria. We were all going to die. A year ago, it was North Korea was going to nuke the piss out of us. We were all going to die. 2 years ago, it was whatever. Being a prepping channel, we have to be careful when saying this, but we've never promoted fear porn. We've never promoted fear mongering on this channel. Those channels live off of it. That's why they've got 100,000 subscribers. That's why they've got, because everything was the end of the world. Listen, this isn't that bad. Get food, get some water, have a way just in case they do shut down power, and sit your tail at home watching freaking Netflix.
That's the biggest thing. Stay home. The government's telling you to stay home. If you are an 18-year-old, healthy, young, strapping young man, I'm not worried about you catching it. Your 60-year-old mother catching it is the problem. So just, it's not a fear-mongering thing. Stay home. Like Brian said, sit at home, watch Netflix, watch Disney Plus, stop freaking out.
Our personal lives, other than losing overtime,
nothing has really changed on the job front. If they do a mandatory stay at home here in South Carolina, my job will be one of the jobs to be told to stay home. We're not a mandatory job. Am I worried about it? Not really. Like I said, we've kind of been prepping for this. We've kind of been thinking ahead on this. And right now, I'm still working. So even at this point, I'm looking at, hey, what's the long-term effects of this going to be? And how can I go ahead and get planned out for that? If you're still planning 2 weeks ahead, you're not planning far enough.
So, of course, food. Make sure you have water. We're gonna fill our bathtubs up. We've got filters. We've got Brita pitchers. We've got ways to make bathtub water drinkable, delicious water.
But yeah, we got the 5-gallon water purification system from Hydro Blue. So water's not a big thing for us. We'll be able to have drinkable water. But it's still not a bad idea to, if you can, grab a few cases.
You can still find water filters and pitchers at Walmart if you are the ones going out, so have that. Right now, your power bill might not be due. If you are affected with job loss, you know, you can sign up to delay your payments. Eventually, these companies are going to want to get paid because if not, they're going to shut down. So let's say this thing lasts for 6 months. How long can a power company or a water company or somebody, a company of some sort, not get paid before they automatically have to shut down? Somebody has to pay them so they can run their business. And eventually they're going to say, you know what? We don't even have enough to pay the employees that we have. We haven't been paid for 4 months. Pull the plug, shut it down. And when that happens,
you're in a grid down then.
Right.
Things just took a drastic turn to the worst.
Yep.
Strongly encourage everybody out there to study up on history. Look back at the Great Depression, and you'll see, hey, look, these guys didn't have power. How did they make it out? How did these people pull themselves out of the Great Depression? How did they survive it? And that's how you need to be going ahead and making the preparations now. Because, yet again, 6 months down the road, when it happens, you're behind the ball.
Yeah, that 2 weeks of food ain't going to last.
Yeah, you should have been on it. So I know at my house, one thing that we have done is we have started getting our garden ready, going ahead and getting our plants and just putting them in the house right now, setting out fruit trees, setting out blueberry bushes, raspberry bushes, blackberry, onions, potatoes, tomatoes, doing a garden, stuff like that. We're blessed because we are in a rural area, so we can kind of afford that luxury of planting a garden. Definitely recommend, like I said, looking into the Great Depression and how those guys got through it.
Some sort of solar or hand crank power generation. My solar system with your Goal Zero Nomad, we can charge up lights, we can charge up batteries. Light is the first form of security. then a weapon, then a gun. If I can shine a light and say, is it a deer running through my field or is it a freaking band of marauders? I can have that power to charge up those lights to give me that security that I need to be able to see, to be able to know what's out there. All these people going out here and buying guns, that's another big thing. Is you're watching the big channels, and the big channels are telling you that martial law is being invoked and that it's the end of the world, the government's going to come and kick your doors down to take your 2-week supply of beans and rice. That's not going to happen. They don't give a damn that you've got 2 weeks worth of food in your house. We're going to come to your door and take your stuff. That was because people were selling extra stuff that the hospital needed. The dude that bought 15,000 bottles of Germ-X and was trying to sell them for like $40 a pop. Yeah, it was critically needed equipment, and he was trying to make a massive profit. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about breaking in David's house because David got a week worth of rice and a week worth of beans.
Because I got my 3 chickens in the backyard. Yeah, that's not happening.
They don't give a damn about that. So martial law is not going to be invoked. Will there be some city shutdowns? Sure, yeah.
See, that's the thing that's getting everybody on this martial law thing is the governor, even in our state, just yesterday, activated the National Guard.
Yep.
So everybody's hearing that, and they're saying, oh my Lord, he's invoking martial law.
Yep. They're coming for you. Setting up little hospitals, setting up food distribution centers, keeping the peace in cities when people are locked in their homes for 2-3 weeks. That is the whole goal of the National Guard. It's not to kick your doors down. Just quit saying martial law, quit promoting this bull crap of martial law. Like David said, start looking at the Great Depression, because there's going to be a financial
backlash to this. I'm not telling you to go out and hoard a lifetime supply of toilet paper. Yes, get your rice and beans, but also look at the future. Look at what's coming. If we go into a depression, if we go into a recession, you will not regret planting that peach tree. Think smart, guys. Stop the panicking.
Yep.
Stop the fear mongering. Listen to what they're telling you. Stay home. It may not be for your safety, but stay home for someone else's safety.
Be smart. Don't panic. Plan for the future, and stop promoting fear porn. That's it.
That's all we got to say.
That's all we got. That's all we got. We'll give you an update in a couple more weeks. See where it's going.
All right. Y'all be good.
T2 out.
PD. We'll see y'all.